another episode of Season 2, Football Manager 2013 The Journey. And I'm bringing you good news on the updates because I'm currently flying high, as you can see in the league table right now. I sit in second place in between Man City and Manchester United. The mighty Bolton up in second, and we are at December 26th. So, I'm nearly virtually halfway through the season, and I'm currently in second. So right now, if you look, Wolves and Cardiff, who came up from the Championship with me, not doing so good. Obviously, they're not as good as me, even though they beat me in the Championship. But I believe that is because when I was playing in the Championship, it was before they did the update to the beta version, which stopped all them nonsense goals coming in from crosses. And because they've sorted that out, because they've fixed that, you can see the difference now. Second in the Premiership compared to 19th and 20th. Now, I will explain. I'm not thinking I'm using some cheat tactics. I haven't even set any corner tactics. You see, this is one of the better things that I seem to like about this game now. Many people would disagree with me because they find that. Well, let me just explain. I'll go to my tactics. Now, what I'm gonna say here is, people disagree with what I'm gonna say. What I'm gonna say is, the tactics are more simple to set up, and I say they're more simple because you can achieve your formation and your style of play on what you want and a better passing game and better style of football without having to tweak every individual little slider like you had to do on the previous ones. That's one great feature about this new game, this new match engine. It produces better football with less input. Now, the reason why I say people will disagree with this is because there's many people out there that like to sit there for hour after hour doing test after test, match after match, rerun after rerun, simulating several months at a time to see how the tactic goes, and they'll tweak it and do it again and tweak it and do it again, and they can spend months doing this to try and produce the ultimate tactic. Now, they may complain a bit, saying, well, what's the point of me going through all that if someone can achieve something similar if, we're hardly doing anything or doing less. But you can still tweak everything. Every little bar, every little button can still be checked, unchecked, can be slid to the left, to the right, couple of notches. However, and you can still get the formation you want. You can still perfect the players that you've got into the formation that you want by doing your own manual settings. But what they've made it do is easier for those that don't want to spend all that time, can't spend all that time, or don't know how to spend all that time setting up these formations. They can get what they want out of the game without having to put too much effort in on that front, which I like because, setting up basic formations is what I enjoy. I do some tweaking every now and again to try and see if it affects anything, see if I can get the best out of certain players. But I don't put too much emphasis on trying to sit there and get the ultimate tactic. I like to just have a more generalized view of things and, spend more effort in playing the games and trading players, transferring players in and out and enjoying the matches. So that's one thing I like about this new version of the game. And as you can see, I've had the same tactics since the Championship that I'm using in the Premiership, and we've had some injury worries all the way through so far. I still can't believe I am in second place. I've had a CD out. I've got Drenthe suspended. I've got Melberg suspended. I've had Bresson suspended for reaching yellow card limits. I've had several injuries already. I've had Bresson and SCD injured. I've now got Simao, who I just bought on a free transfer, is now out for 4 to 6 weeks. So he's out for a couple of months, like a month and a half. So I have to wait for him to come back. And Andy Carroll, who I loaned, who was doing well. As you can see, 14 appearances, 5 goals. not bad. He wasn't scoring. My formation's not set up for my striker to score all of the goals. My wingers are picking, and my midfielders are picking up quite a few goals as well. So he was doing his job, playing those in and around him, in giving them goal scoring opportunities. But he got injured, broken ankle. 8 weeks to 2 months left on that. So I had to put in Marvin Sordell. Now, I gave him his chance at the beginning of the season, didn't do anything. Then I played Andy Carroll. But, to be honest with you, since I put Sordell in, changed him to advanced forward attack, as you can see, 12 appearances in the league, 6 goals. Now, that's only in the last couple of games. As you can see, he's already had 2 assists as well. Can't remember where I seen that. Where I can show you what he's done in the last few games. Anyways, he's scoring. He scored like 2 last game and 2 the game before, and he's only started a few games, and most of his appearances were substitutions, and he's been banging them in. So I mean, look at his stats. His stats are going all the time. His price is going up. 4-star rating there. He's a brilliant little player. His work rate and stuff needs to be a bit better, but he's still good enough. So yeah, currently in the league, doing well. Second place. There's a league table again. Chelsea mid-table there. There's my goal difference, plus 13. So doing well on that front, not conceding that much. And to be honest with you, that in part is down to Bogdan pulling off some good saves. And Melberg, Olaf Melberg, 36-year-old. He is like a rock. He's stopping everything and heading everything. And one of the things that I like about this game was, in the previous Football Managers, what would tend to happen, in my view anyways, is unless you had a defender that had great pace and great acceleration and could keep up with the quick, speedy strikers, you would always get caught out at the back. Always. They would always find space in behind. They would always outpace your defender and run in behind. Whereas, really, in real life in football, you don't see that often. You think you do, but you don't. You don't often see the striker get in behind the defender and go one-on-one with the keeper. It is very rare, and it normally comes about either off a super quick counter-attack, where there's more attackers than defenders, or it's through a team passing move where the defenders and the defense has been pulled out of position and somebody's just slipped in behind. It doesn't normally come about by just nothing happening and all of a sudden the defender just runs off and he's into space. It doesn't happen very often because most of the time, one, he either gets caught offside, or 2, the ball's not hit right and it goes too far into the keeper, or it forces the striker out wide, or the defence blocks him or intercepts the ball. On the previous Football Managers, on the old match engine, that would always happen. And your defender would be on the attacker would be on the shoulder of the defender, and he'd just run off, and a ball would be played through, and he'd be one-on-one on your keeper and score most of the time. And it's unrealistic, really, because quite a lot of the defenders in the Premier League, especially, are not fast, but yet they manage to defend, which says to me, really, a defender's key is not pace; it is positioning and anticipation. His ability to predict where the striker's going to go and to stop him going there, or where the ball's going to be played and stop the ball from going there. And keeping an eye on where the striker's moving. It isn't about raw speed and being able to keep up with the striker. I mean, John Terry's not fast. Jamie Carragher's never been that fast. A lot of defenders are not fast, but yet they do defend well. So, and what I'm trying to say here is, on this new version, people like Olaf Melberg you can pick up who got great defensive stats. His positioning, his influence, his determination, his aggression, his anticipation, and that are fairly high. He's still got a good strength and natural fitness. He can still do a job, even though he's no pace, or very little pace, because of this new match, and it allows them other stats to take priority, and in being the right place at the right time, he can still do a job. Don't get me wrong, he does get caught out, especially by fast players on the counter. He will get caught out because he can't keep up with the play. If it's on the counter, but if it's not on the counter, he does a good job of being in position and intercepting balls. So whereas previously you'd try and find fast defenders to cover the lines and wouldn't really want an old, experienced, slow defender because you think, oh, he's too old and slow, he'll get caught out all the time. This time you can. You can afford to go, especially if you're a lower club and can't afford these good defenders. If you want a defender that's coming to the end of his career who's still got a load of experience and good tackling, bang him in. He'll be as solid as a rock. Quick look at some of the matches. Some of the matches here, we'll go through them. Let's see, like October, you saw that got beat by Huddersfield. Yeah, managed to beat Everton. Great when you watched that on the last episode. Cardiff and Wolves, promotional teams that came up with it. I beat those. Drew with Swansea, and I got a famous 4-3 away victory at Old Trafford against Manchester United, and what a cracking game that was. Look at Melberg there. Look, 8.2 rating. He got Sardell got man of the match with 2 goals. But so see, this is what I mean. Gets a goal off a corner, defends well. 4-3. They kept catching me on the counter, because they had a man sent off. I took the lead. I actually went 2-0 up, but they came back into it, and then they got a man sent off. So I went on the attack, and I had more possession. But every now and again, because because of their fast players and the skillful players that United have, they would catch me on the counter and they would score a goal. But I managed towards the end of the game to get the winner and win 4-3. As you can see, I went on a bit of a run then, beat West Ham, beat Stoke. But then my luck ended. I managed to beat Man United, but I outplayed Manchester City, and they got the one goal that I couldn't stop. And that was it. It's just a pretty boring game, to be honest with you. I had a couple of chances. They had a couple of more chances. I couldn't score, and they couldn't score another one. But it was a fairly even game, and they managed to win that. But Chelsea, it looks like a one-sided thing. But look, Melbourne got sent off eventually. Some of the players had a pretty poor game, especially Tim Ream. And the reason why it shows he had such a poor game is because the game was even. If anything, I actually slightly edged the game, but it was through defensive mistakes and poor goalkeeping, that actually allowed them to win 3-0. The match report at the end of the game says superior finishing prevents upset. Says that because I actually played better, but they finished their chances and I didn't. And as you can see, we're going in. Next game is Tottenham away, Sunderland, and I love this. I mean, first drawing in the FA Cup and I get Man City. Great, I love it. That's not a bad feature that I like as well. I don't know whether it had it on the last one. I didn't actually notice until now. But as you can see, as I'm clicking on the my next fixtures, what are coming up, it actually gives some team news about who's going to be available or what it thinks is going to be available for that match. Like Tottenham, if I click on that, I'll have Drenthe suspended, Melberg suspended, Andy Carroll out, and Simao out. And you go through, and they'll have Larson out, McLean out, Wes Brown's doubtful, which means he could be back. It gives you just go through and it gives some team news as to who it thinks is going to play against you and who's not going to play against you. So that's not too bad. I like that feature. Anyways, I know I've been waffling on. I'm sorry about that. If you actually watch this video, please go back. Watch my other videos, give them a big thumbs up, leave comments, watch how I got to this point. I'll try and not waffle on as much in the future, and I'll just play more matches and show them instead. But I just wanted to give an update before I got any further into the game, and just give you a few little thoughts on what I like and don't like and what I think about this new version of the game. So anyways, thank you for watching. For more Football Manager videos, more gaming news, more gaming deals, please subscribe, and so then you'll get updated on when I've released my new videos. So anyways, like I said, thank you for watching. Have a great day.